What's cracking, Brainiacs? What's up, everybody? Worldwide, the Matrix Minds. Yeah, man. See Mr. Kurt Lundenberg in the house. Miss Maxine ruled. I hope you guys stay tuned for it this evening. It's going to be a little bit interesting. Had a hell of a topic on my mind I was going to talk to you about. And then next thing you know, I take a nap and I wake up and well, all I can say is Spirit had a completely different agenda for me. So it's come to light that we as beings need to a little bit stay focused a little bit more, stay focused and stay more positive. So with that being said, I hope you stay with me because this evening is going to be a little bit interesting. It's specifically for you guys. You ready? Let's do this.
And if you are, in fact, an expression of an already existing infinite creation, you have right here and right now the ability to access that infinity in whatever way serves the idea you are creating yourself to be within the local experience. You have the ability to access anything that is relevant, everything that is relevant to the definition of your life as you have created it in your local experience of existence.
And when you find ways to quiet your mind, to release resistance, or to find thoughts that are resistant-free, and you learn to hold yourself consistently, chronically, in vibrational alignment with who you really are, you begin to see the world through the eyes of Source. You begin to understand things as they really are. The distortions of all things begin to fade. Your purpose and reason for living begins to come full view. And most important, you begin to understand your place in this leading edge expansion, your place in the universe. And then what happens to you is your feeling of well-being and worthiness, your feeling of self-appreciation sweeps around you and through you and permeates everything that you are and radiates to the boundaries of this boundaryless universe and assists everyone who comes into contact with you, even in the slightest way of being uplifted, because you are tuned in, tapped in, turned on to the source within you. You are no longer a fragmented shadow of who you really are. You are who you really are.
You exist. When you understand this fully, it becomes automatically apparent, again, that there is only now, that time is an illusion, although the experience of it is real when you create it in your consciousness. But what that means is that relative to the concept of time, if you exist now, you always have and you always will. So you are eternal, you are infinite. Let it become obvious.
The thing that is virtuous is coming into alignment with that which is really you. In other words, coming into alignment with the you that you have become. So we've just got to tell you this story, even though many of you have heard it before. Hear it now like you've never heard it before, because this is who you are and this is how it all fits together. You, source energy, before you came into this physical body. Source energy, hear it, and try to embrace it. We can feel it bouncing off many of you. Source energy, way too big. Source energy, way too big. Well, deal with it. Source energy, you, source energy before you came forth into this physical body. You, genius you, brilliant God force you, source energy.
Okay, Brainiacs, just a taste. Just a taste. Let's dig into this tonight. We will not be moved. Just stay anchored because there's a whole other reality out there. And we're going to go through it and create it together. A whole positive perspective. A whole other dimension. We've just got to stay focused. Stay anchored. Let's do this, brains. You guys ready? Let's go, man. It's Manic Monday.
We're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix. We're in the Matrix.
Yeah. Let's do this. One of the fastest growing talk shows on the internet. Radio show. Welcome aboard the Matrix Minds. One of the most controversial conspiratorial shows on the internet. The Matrix Minds. And that's right. Buckle up, everybody. Let's go. Paranormal, huh? Conspiracy, huh? Ufology, hidden Egyptology, and anything and everything we can get our hands on. Let's go. Welcome aboard. The Matrix Minds. The Matrix Minds. Crank it up, Brainiacs. Oh, shit.
Take the blue pills. The story ends.
Mr. Andy Cassidy. Crank it up, buddy.
You stay in Wonderland. And I show you how deep the rabbit hole is. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth. Stay in Wonderland. All I'm offering is the truth.
Oh, yeah, brains. I missed you guys. I missed you guys on Friday. Although I had something come up and it was well, let me just say that it was a family friend emergency, okay? He I know a lot of you guys like blew up my instant messenger, and I mean I'm still responding to quite a few of you. I'm talking everywhere from Facebook to YouTube to Twitch to Vanguard. All of you guys there on the audio only side of things, iHeartRadio, Pandora Radio, Apple iTunes, Spotify, Google Podcast, everywhere and anywhere in between, all over this great planet we've got. Tonight we're going to talk a little bit. We're to spin things up. I do believe I'm going to be joined a little bit later by my shaman girl, Michelle Espinosa. And to kick things off, I hope I did with some good words from Daryl Anka, who channels an entity by the name of Bashar. See, the Matrix Mind show, okay? Let me share some things with you guys. Has always been your guys' show from the very beginning. And I say that because it has. I started this show some 12, 13 years ago with it just being discussions, just being conversations of how I felt in my heart, and how the different callers throughout the years they wanted things to they wanted to share things, their ideas, their thoughts, their directives, their process of thinking. And there's so many people that are even still till this day thinking that they're alone in this thought process of, well, I think outside of the box, or I think this way, and my family doesn't even associate. In fact, they disassociate themselves with the way we think. Okay? And I'm going to tell you that you're not alone if that is the case. That's primarily what we're going to talk about tonight, is anchoring yourself. You have got to, especially now, you've got to stay anchored. You've got to stay who you are. You've got to stay who you chose to be, because that is who you need to be. That's who you came here to be. You be you. Okay? Right now, in this matrix that we're in, the fabric of reality is breaking down so fast. The darkness is being the dark energy, the lies, the deception, the all of it. It's coming down so fast you can't even keep an eye as to what. You can't keep an eye on focused on what's going on. They're hitting everybody so fast with so many different things. Get that, or stay away from me. The division, okay, the division. That's what they're wanting. They're wanting to do that. They're wanting to create the divide by keeping us segregated, keeping us apart. Okay, they're keeping us apart for a reason, because I'll be honest with you. Okay, the heart resonates a frequency. My love for you, my love for humanity, can be felt. It can be felt. And you need not forget that. It can be felt. You resonate a frequency. Okay? Why do you think they're wanting to keep everybody at a specific distance? Okay? Because your modality, your thinking, their process. We are a people, but yet we are a frequency being. We resonate at a frequency that can be felt. Okay? Do not forget that. The more you stay anchored and the more you continue to be who you chose to be within the light that you are, okay, you're going to plant that seed. You're going to continue to be who you chose to be. Nobody can make you do anything that you don't want to do. I've heard so many stories of, well, they're going to make you do this. They're going to make you do that. I'm not talking about specifically the jab or changing your modality, your thinking process. You come to be who you come to be. Okay? Your thinking process is who you are now. Okay? And the reason why they're wanting to social distance you is because the darkness, they would like to anchor it even further and even more. But the thing is you are better than that. You are better than the darkness. Okay? There's people walking around not knowing who the hell they are, where they are, why they are, because they live in cookie cutter homes. Okay? They live in, like, I don't know, maybe they live in a cul-de-sac and they just they can't even chew bubble gum, rub their head, pat their tummy at the same time. They have no idea, but yet they've got a thought to become themselves. They want to break outside the box, okay? Because they've got a likeness like yourself embedded in their life, who's trying to feed them something different than they've seen on mainstream TV. You follow me? You are that change. And I've been telling you guys this since the beginning. ABCs. I'll even tell you and talk to you. Okay? Greg Carr, you're right. You're absolutely. They want full control. But they're not going to get your control. They're not going to get your control. They're not going to get my control. Because within our own being, Ain't nobody gonna force you to jump, okay? You've heard the saying, well, sometimes you've heard the saying about your spouse. Well, tell me how to jump. Tell me to jump, and then I'm gonna ask how high. No, bullshit. Okay? They cannot make you jump. They cannot force you to jump. You have got to be, okay, equate. You've got to be your own equate, your own higher self equate. You control the being, okay? You control the being that you're in. It is a vessel. It is exactly that. It is a vessel. Okay, you heard Bashar. You heard that, right? The very beginning. You came here at a bad ass time to be alive. This is an amazing time to be alive. We're witnessing things that we could not even fathom to happen to humanity. This is exciting to be alive. You got to admit that. This is an exciting time to be alive. We will not be moved. We've got to be anchored. We've got to remain grounded. We've got to remain who we came to be. You've got it in you. Many, many, many of us we have been tempted throughout our entire journeys by our mothers, our fathers. Sometimes you guys, your own kids, your kids, but indeed your loved ones, your coworkers. You guys have heard me tell you this before. We've talked about this before, but I'm saying it again because I want to remind you. I was going to talk about Biden. I was going to talk about the political agenda over in Afghanistan. Okay. I just so happened to wake up from a nap and I'm like, oh, okay. I literally did. I woke up from a nap, not even about 2 hours before the show. And I'm like, oh, I'm to talk about what? Okay. All right. So I wake up 2.5 hours, remove 2 screens that I'd already had the show, because I prepare the show before I do the show. All right. I take a nap, do some thinking process. Next thing you know, I wake up and my whole agenda and my whole show topic had changed just like that. Now I'm going to adhere to what I was told to change it to. And that is all of you listening, all of you sharing, all of you supporting. We came here at a critical time, because the masses, they are at this moment, they're running around like rats after a piece of cheese. Okay, look at Australia right now. Australia is a testing ground. Yeah, Richard, you just seen it. I've seen everything is happening in Australia. It's a testing ground. But the thing is guess what? I will not be shut up. My wife already knows. I will go to jail speaking truth. 10 years, fine. They cannot do that to you, Richard. They cannot do this by fear alone. They cannot do it. They have got unjustified law trying to push fear. And that's what they're doing on a global level. They're trying to show you that they're in control. But they can't make you jump. They cannot make you jump. They'd like to try, but they've got the fear instilled in you. I'm not talking to anybody specific. I'm just talking in general. General people. Okay? ABCs, all of you. I know that you listen to the show. I know this. I've been told this. I have been told this by several people. And also several people that are close to you, ABCs. I understand. Listen, I'm not here to cause turmoil, and you won't see me at the Capitol rioting. You won't see me at the Capitol with torches, pitchforks saying, burn the witch, burn the witch. No. No, you won't see me doing that or saying that. You won't be hearing me say, Rome's got to fall. Let's destroy Washington. You won't hear me saying that either. No. You will indeed see and hear me saying, I came back here. We all came back here. Even you, listen to me, ABCs. You came back here at a critical time. Because the light in you, you've got a light. You know why I'm saying that you've got the light is because do it again, breathe. You're breathing in the same prana I am breathing in. And it's life force energy. Okay? And it is full of positive momentum. All you've got to do is anchor yourself, stay focused, stay positive, and stick to your due diligence. Because it's in here. It's in here. The power of that light is so great. It only takes one little matchstick to illuminate an entire room. You guys know this. You guys know this. And I'm glad that you listen to my show. I know some of you guys are like, oh God, this guy again. Oh God, what's he talking about now? Aliens, extraterrestrials, vehicles, something stupid, some stupid shit. I'm talking about the power that you've got inside of you, Mr. CIA. I don't have the ability to be where you're at, okay? I don't have that ability. You are in a very, very, very special place, Mr. FBI. You have got the ability to do and move mountains in places that I can't. We need you to move mountains. We need you to fuel that fire. Continue to be who you are on the inside. Find it. You've got it. You know why you've got it? It's because you're a son, you're a daughter, you're a husband, a wife, a mother, a child, a father, you name it. You're an uncle, you're an aunt. And you have got the ability to say, I love you to your own family. So extend that love to your own people. You have it. You took an oath to sworn to protect. Who? A system? A darkness that will not only just use you, abuse you, chew you up, spit you out, and look at our vets. Look at the streets. Our streets are full of veterans who swore the same oath that you did. I want you to think about what I'm saying to you. They did the same thing you are doing. They took the same oath. Now they're back here, and look at where they're at. Look at where they're at. Some 5 years ago, there was a man, he was a Christian man, had the love of source in his heart to go feed these homeless vets. Do you know that man was locked up for 3 days for feeding the homeless, feeding the veterans in Florida? And it happens all the time. It happens all the time. You can go to Washington, or you can go to different places, and you are literally chastised, blasphemed for feeding the veterans that took the same oath that you did, Mr. ABC. They took the same oath that you did. And they're homeless. It's coming burr season. We're in September. Got October, November. November, it starts to get mighty cold, my friends. Okay. Then we got December, January, February. These are pretty brutal months. You guys have got to take into consideration what's coming down the pike. Okay? Because there's a lot of star seeds right now illuminating. And I'm going to tell you right now, they're not going to be quiet. They're not quiet now. They're not quiet now. And they're being shut down, censored. They're being deplatformed, demonetized, snuffed out. Just like that. You have no voice. Consider that today's modern day book burning. Just snuffed out. Just pull the plug on you. Ain't nothing to say. Doesn't matter, right? Your voice don't matter? Oh, it does. It does. Because the love in your heart, I'm going to tell you, is powerful enough to enlighten a multitude of people. That is why they want you socially distanced. That is the only reason. Is because the darkness is dying. Did you hear me say it? I'll say it again. The darkness is dying. Think about that for a moment. Absolutely, positively, you are powerful, powerful, powerful creators. You came here to absolutely shake the foundations of Washington, D.C. and Victoria, Australia, and not even move a torch or pitchfork. Not to raise chaos, not to raise calamity, not to do any injustice. Okay? You came here to move mountains and awaken a multitude of people by being yourself. That's what you came here to do. And I assure you, if I am ever tested and tried to the point where I am going to be wrongfully imprisoned by just simply speaking to you, by saying you are powerful beings. Get off of your knees, people. Speak the light of truth. Speak your being. Speak your heart. If I'm going to be enslaved or cast into prison, jail for saying that, I came here to say that. And that's what I'm going to do. But more so, I'm not just necessarily wanting to talk to a multitude of, as they say, little people. Little people. I'm a little people. I'm a little people. That's what I am, as little people. I'm going after the big boys. I'm going after you, ABCs. I'm going after you who've got congressional law at your fingertips. I'm coming after you. I want you. I want you. I don't want the common folk. Okay? I want you. And if you're going to put me in prison or you're going to put me in jail for waking up you know where I live at. You know where I live at. Because the inbound energy right now that's coming, these CMEs, yeah, the coronal mass ejections from the source of our planetary bodies in the heavens. Okay, the Schumann resonance is off the chart. Off the chart. You guys are the ones that we are going to rely on to move Washington, to move Victoria, Australia, to move England, to move Poland. It's not the common folk. We got your back. Okay? That is indeed what we've got. We have your back. We're not going to burn down DC. We're not going to do anything tyrannical. We're not going to do anything extreme. But what we are going to do extreme is ignite the fires in humanity. That is what we are here to do. We are here to push forth something and not be moved. Okay? So with that being said, let's take a phone call. I heard the switchboard just light up. So take that phone call. By the way, the switchboard is open. If you guys didn't know that already. Yeah. I hope you guys understand what I'm saying. I'm not trying to shake you. I'm trying to just give you fuel for your heart. I do believe, my God, this is my shaman. Is it? Is this not my shaman lady? Is this Michelle Espinosa?
Hi, gorgeous. What's up? What's up, everybody?
What's up with you? How are you doing?
I'm doing pretty good, actually. Things are going really good in my life.
Good.
But
Good.
As soon as you told me earlier today what you was going to talk about, though, I had to put a whole lot of cleansing down on the house and everything because, my mama, you guys, the people who followed me for a while know that I take care of my mama. And she just started picking up the energy of everything you were going to talk about. And I was like, oh, crap, I got to protect her now and then call into the show.
I gotcha. Well, I mean, what I'm talking about is real. What I'm talking about is I played a little excerpt from Bashar, okay, which is channeled by a friend by the name of Daryl Anka. Anybody can look him up. Daryl Anka, Bashar, Bashar, Bashar. And that little snippet, clip it, is one of the most powerful little segments that I have ever heard Daryl channel, because it literally tells you, and he channels to you, you are an infinite finite being. You are here now in this infinite now moment to make moves, make waves. You are the wave, you are the move. Find yourself, be the change, anchor yourself, and be who you come to be. You know what I mean? That is an awesome, a powerful and I just love hearing that specific little excerpt, Michelle. It's awesome. It really is.
And that's so true. That is so very true. I mean, every single one of you, all of us, we all have a reason for being here right now. Now, some of us are awakened and coming into that purpose, and some of us, unfortunately, are not. But when you look at it on a soul level, you have many different time frames, and every one of you have chosen to be here for a reason. Now, that does not necessarily mean that you'll connect with that reason, but the whole point was for you to. For that whole change of what is going on. The point was for you to take this. It's like a lot of people like to say, Earth is like a school for humanity, and then we learn how to grow and be better. Well, being here at this time is definitely about choosing to take the power of our souls, take the power of our rights, take the power of who and what we are, and to believe in it. And to come into that empowering moment, as a unit, not just, it is individual, but it is also as a unit, as a humanity, as society, as changing it to be a more healthy, divine level of growth. But I will not deny, not everyone is going to come into it. There are those who are going to be in their fear, and they're not going to come into it. But the point is to still stand your ground and keep doing it, because the more that you become awakened, the more that you become in your power, the more that you continue to live that life and walk that walk and talk that talk and follow that path, those who are around you are going to start waking up more as well. So, therefore, it does help those who are having trouble believing in themselves and coming into that power.
You know what, Shell? I talked a little bit. It's probably been oh my God, I would say probably 8 months ago. About 8 months ago, we had a show, and I talked about knowing. What was it? It was a segment, a little bit about. Hang on a second. I'm trying to think. What was it about? Okay, I do a what do you call a lecture? I call it a discussion. It's just a discussion. A lot of people's like, "Oh, sound like you're lecturing." Well, it's just a talk. And
Right.
that would be knowing thyself, okay? Because unless you know who you are as a being, you can't even try to communicate it to your mom, your sister, your brother. When it comes to your own belief system, you gotta know yourself in order to be able to even identify your belief system. What do you believe in? I don't know. I don't know. Sounds good. I believe in that. It sounds really good. Well, why do you believe in that? Well, I don't know. You know what I mean?
Well,
It's again.
no, I completely know what you're saying.
So you got.
And that's also part of the issue.
Oh yeah, that's what I'm saying. I said earlier. We've got to tap into our resonant frequency of who we are as a being, knowing who we are, because this is the line that divides. This is the line that they're using to divide humanity right now too. You've got to know who you are, what you believe in, where I stand. I just seen a comment in here by. Hang on a sec, Michelle. I just seen a comment in here in the chat by an Australian friend that says they're coming after the kids. They're coming after the kids. You know why they're coming after the kids? I'm gonna let the shaman tell you guys why they're coming after the kids.
Well, there's. I'm sorry, you just touched base on like 15 different things.
Let's go back. Just go to what she said. They're coming after the children
Because the children are impressionable.
They're going to jab the children. They're coming after
Yes,
the children.
I'm saying they're impressionable. They're impressionable. Children, for one, are innocent and pure, and the idea is to make sure that they can't connect. And with them being impressionable, okay, because I think Tammy had put up a comment too about her kids, and you know how her kids, I believe, were saying they don't need parental approval. And I don't really know because on that level, I'm not the big lawyer person. I you know what I'm saying. But what I'm saying is, it's easy to come after impressionable people because they're easier to manipulate.
Wait, say that again? You said the M word, and it wasn't Moderna. You said what?
If they're easier to manipulate.
Yes. That's right.
Children, especially teenagers and young adults. And when I say young adults, I mean like 20 to maybe 30. You know, who think they've learned a little something about life or about themselves or about their soul, but still haven't really delved deep enough into, you know, truth and their life and what's really going on. They're much more easier to manipulate in a form of, you know, if they feel the power. I mean, okay, each person, I'm going to be honest, each person can be manipulated in different ways. And the darkness itself knows how to touch each and every one of us because it's just as old as the light. You have to understand that.
Yeah, but it's part of the light, is it not?
Yes.
It's still part of the all is source, all everything.
Yes.
And people forget that. They would like to completely banish it, but it needs teaching. It needs.
Oh, yes. And without understanding it, you will never be able to be whole. You will never be able to, okay, like people think evil is one thing when ultimately it's something different. You know what I'm saying? On a spiritual level, you know, like I will deal with very negative entities, so to speak. And you may want to call them evil. And some are far more evil than others. But what I'm trying to get at is whether it's negative energies or entities and however you're looking at it, the only way to completely do work on that level is to also understand it. And when you I tell mediums this all the time. They'll get, wanting to banish this or banish that. Same with people in witchcraft. They want to banish this and banish that because deep down it scares them, or the negative energy that comes from it scares them. But when they go after it with a negative energy, like if they're you can't fight fire with fire. If you go after a negative with a negative, all you did was multiply the negative.
Yeah.
You get what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
And I don't know how many mediums I've had to tell, you're going to actually harm yourself this way. You have to know how to fight the battle. And I've been saying that because I've known these energies were coming in. I've been saying it for 3 years, if not more, in my weekly healing messages and the videos that I put out for that energy forecast. I've been saying this, and I've been trying to warn everybody of these energies and how this was going to feel and what it was going to do. But like I said, if you're fighting fire with fire, all you're doing is feeding more fire. You know what I'm saying? So you have to understand.
Yes.
It's funny. I was driving. I really thought this was for the book I was writing, and now I'm thinking it's for the show that we're doing tonight. I was driving down the road, 2 days ago, and I had to take a message to myself as I'm driving because I was getting information of unconditional love and how we don't understand unconditional love. We have hard time just understanding love. Forget the unconditional part. Okay? And love really ultimately comes down to acceptance and joy. Even when it is painful. Okay, like you can love someone and still let them leave your life. But once you get to a point where you can look back at that with joy for them instead of heartbreak or, because they left you or you left them or, you know what I'm trying to say?
I do.
Once you're able to look back with love, then you'll feel joy, you'll feel warmth, you'll feel, and that is getting closer to the idea of unconditional love. And I say this because the way Spirit was making me, I was receiving the download, but at the same time, they always put music in my head. So it's like I'm receiving it from two ends at once so that I could get it. When they started playing in my head at the same time, the song by Aerosmith, what is it? I Go Crazy? Crazy,
sorry, I'm reading comments. I'm serious.
I believe it's I Go Crazy. It may just be crazy. I can't remember the name of it. But the song is him singing about this girl, who's acting like she's going to walk out the door and leave. And, packing up all of her stuff. But he's going on about how, there's no clothes on underneath the coat. And he's like, I go crazy over her. But the point is, they're like, that's not love. That's an idea that we tell ourselves that we'll do for love.
That is not Char talking. By the way, that is not Charlene talking. That is Michelle Espinosa. Okay.
But you get what I'm saying.
I do.
They're like, there's a very big difference because people misunderstand what love is with fake factors of what they registered it to be in their mind.
Michelle, this is
and
called,
that's
it's being blinded by the facade.
Right.
I mean,
but that's exactly what they were using that song to use it into my head because of how people misunderstand what the truth really is. But that has to do with them. It's not just the facade. It's the facade, but it isn't. It's the story you've lived your life all of your life. Now it's like they say when you start to wake up. Well, now you have to unlearn everything that you had learned. Do you get where I'm going with this?
I do.
It's,
Yes.
The society has always been this way.
Yes.
Society has always been this way. There has always been all kinds of these very problems that we are facing outside of the jab, outside of that, but other things that are going on in society and in the world. Most of this is not new. It's old news. It's just been ignored news.
Mm-hmm. Now,
because it was easier to ignore.
And now look where we're at. This is what happens.
And that's exactly why we're where we're at.
Old news buildup. This is what we're dealing with now, because we didn't deal with it then. Shell, I got a comment pinned here, and I want to go ahead and unpin it. This is from Mr. Jag Ace. Says all of the interdimensional beings are fallen entities, aka demons. How do you respond to something like that? How do you respond to something like that? I'll go ahead and respond to it after you.
Well, for one, I cannot tell someone else how or what they feel or believe, period.
Right.
I cannot tell them what they feel or believe, and if they so strongly believe that, then most definitely that's exactly what it is, at least to that person. Because if you put fear on something, even if it was good, you're going to see it as bad. And that's part of the way your mind works. Your mind is so powerful that I was saying this to you before you started the show tonight. I was like, right. Your unconscious mind is more powerful than your conscious mind, because you haven't chosen to acknowledge the truth, the lie, the denial that goes on in the unconscious mind. And until you start to acknowledge it, can you bring it into power of the light? Now, I cannot say, as a shaman, I will not say that all entities that I've come across are dark. I will not say that they're all evil. I will say from time to time, because I do psychopump.
Right. And
psychopump is where you help cross energies into the light. And I say it as energies because everything is energy, including entities and our souls. And when a soul leaves the body and no longer has the body as a vessel, not all souls directly find their way into the light. Now, if they stay in purgatory, so to speak, the middle world, long enough, they will go crazy. And that's where typically you get the idea of demonic energies being born, because they've stayed too long. They aren't getting the healing that's needed from the light. Okay? But that does not mean that everything came, not all souls registered on that level. I'm saying there are entities out there that are definitely dark, and there are entities out there that are definitely light. If you comprehend where I'm going with that.
Let me say what I say.
Whether it's alien or angel.
This is the way I say it, Michelle. I say this to everybody whenever I'm hit with a question or something like that. And I also got another comment pinned by Katrina. Wedricka? Anyway, I'll get to that in a minute. If you are an asshole here now, what do you think you're going to be when you reach the other side and into the non-physical realm? If you are a belligerent asshole here, you're going to be a belligerent asshole there. Okay? And it's probably just going to get worse. It's probably just going to manifest even more. You'll have the ultimate power to do all kinds of things. Okay? There. That's the way I see it. That's the way I've experienced it. I've come across in the astral plane some really, really, really nasty people. And I'm not talking like demons. I'm talking people. These are just asshole people.
Yes and no. This is what I'm talking about understanding. Yeah. It takes a very big, okay, it takes a lot of unconditional love to understand that sometimes you're an asshole because you can't be healed. But it's not that you can't be healed. You choose not to.
Oh. Let's go to Katrina.
You get where I'm going with that?
Yeah, Katrina says she's listening to the wrong music and she should be waking up. That's directed at you.
Well,
I think
to each their own. I get everything in music. I mean, I get all kinds of music. I mean, I have Jewish music that plays in my head. It depends. A lot of times Spirit speaks to me as with music simply because that's a way of how they know my head, my mind will comprehend what they're trying to say. So I'll receive things in different ways. Now, I can't tell anybody what kind of music to listen to or what not to listen to. And I listen to all different kinds of music. I mean, Hava Nagila is one of my favorite songs, and that's a Jewish wedding song. So, I mean, that goes right back to judging a book by its cover when you don't really know anything about me.
That's the thing. What's crazy is I've gotten throughout the years. I have gotten pinned to the dirt by primarily, I'll just say, different religions. Okay, I've had Islamic people come at me. I've had diehard Christians come at me, and the only thing I can say is, look, I asked them because they tell me a lot like what I just read. Extraterrestrial entities or other entities that we don't really understand as of right. Some of us channel them. Rob Gothier, shout out to you, my friend, the ET Whisperer. Even yourself, Michelle Espinosa, I channel from time to time also. And I'm going to tell you, until you have walked a mile in my channeling shoes, you can't judge me, because I too, just like these good people in the chat, they are an entity them own selves. Okay? They are an entity them own selves. And it's not just because you're in a physical body and they are not, that makes them belligerent, that makes them demonistic. Okay?
One way of seeing it, the way that I'm given it from my guides often is, and this goes back to that unconditional love, because, don't get me wrong, I'm a human being. I'm going to get pissed off just like everybody else does.
Mm-hmm.
Something's going to be said to me that hurts my feelings, and then I got to remind myself not to let my feelings drive me,
Right.
Just like everybody else does.
That's everybody.
We all have that, okay? But then Spirit reminds me, we're all grains of sand. How many freaking grains of sand are there on a beach? But yet we're all one. It takes millions of grains to make that sand of beach. But we're not all on the same level. And nor will we ever be.
Mm-hmm.
And
Correct.
all you can do is allow people to be them. This is why, this is why it also turns into law of attraction. It turns into vibrational frequency. I may not like you, at least maybe right now at this moment in time, especially if you've just hurt my feelings or something.
Right.
Okay? And I may not see eye to eye with you. But at the same time, that doesn't mean that I wish, when I clear my ego, when I get back to soulfulness, that doesn't mean that I wish bad for you. That just means, one of the things I say all the time, because there's a specific someone in my life that I am not very fond of, okay?
Mm-hmm.
We'll put it that way.
All right.
And they come in every few months because it's a working environment thing, and I've learned to simply be like, however you want to see it, God, creator, universe, that's not up to me to tell you how to see. But I will be like, can you please bless this person with everything they need to learn in order to grow and become the healthiest person of them. But if possible, can you bless them far, far, far away from me?
Right. Right. I get you. Right.
Because I really don't want that vibrational frequency even touching my energy. I don't want it in my aura. I don't want to deal with it. And, you know, we have to all do things we don't want to do. That is part of growing. If you were comfortable with everything, you would never step out of your comfort zone. You would never grow. You would stay there. But that doesn't mean that at the same time you want to stay in a negative energy. You know, it's like they say at the same time, you know, if you're surrounded by negativity, then, you know, or I don't know how many shows I've seen of people who are, I'll just use it, you know, like famous people who came from the hood, you know, and they found a way to get away from that lifestyle. That doesn't mean the lifestyle they're having now is better. It's just different. You get what I'm saying? I mean,
yeah, of course.
I'm saying, I say this all the time in the videos that I put out when I do the forecast energy. The people, the places, and the things of energy that you consume actually consume you. It's energy. You are what you eat. So if you are around, you know, lower vibrational energy all the time, then you're going to have a harder time moving up to a higher vibration and into a place that's going to have less of that negativity. It'll be a different kind of a negativity, but that's as you grow. There will always be some form of negativity there to challenge you.
Well, you know what? These guys rock enough that I do believe the majority of the Matrix Minds listening audience know what you're talking about. Whenever you say, you know, cause and effect, as well as the law, you know, cause and effect, law of attraction, yada, 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 they understand that. Let's talk a little bit about that, okay? Because what we're coming into with this alignment, this energy, and aligning within our own being, that is going to play a major key on timeline creation. Do you agree?
Oh, yes.
Okay. With that being
absolutely.
With that being said, this is why I've eliminated a certain criteria on this platform from here on out. I don't really give two shits to talk doom and gloom. I don't want it here. It doesn't belong here. This platform was never created for that to begin with. It kind of like just, I don't know, it kind of stemmed that way a little bit, but I now have complete reign on the horses. I hold on the horse's reins, and we ain't going back. Okay, baby, this train is going off the tracks and into the bushes to like explore something else. I mean, I'm just telling you, we ain't going back. I'm not gonna dive into and feed that political machine. Okay, it's because that's just right now, the political machine is needing healed. Okay, it doesn't need more fear by the people. Okay, I know you know what I'm saying. I sound like I'm talking.
No, I've been telling you that for months, and I know you know that. So
I do.
I completely agree. I mean, but I will say, admittedly, you know, while I've been telling you that for months, you know, I 100% backed you as the person that you are, and that you chose what you chose. That was your decision, and you're my friend either way. But at the same time, I also stated, you know, on a friendship level, I was like, you know, as much as I hate the politics stuff that you got into, sometimes it needed to be said. But if you remember, I always told you, keep your balance, because if you're out of balance, then you will be messed up.
Yeah, I mean,
justice cannot be served.
It has its place.
If balance can't be found.
Michelle, it has its place. And without a doubt, the moment I get a chance, I'm going to inject it with positivity. Okay, I know right now I've got a handful of. I know this for a fact. There's a hand. Well, I'll call one of them out. I can't tell you where it says for one of them. Corey, Mr. Corey, shout out to you, brother. Listens to the show from time to time. Tunes in primarily. Okay, he's an ABC boy. The thing is he he is in the fire. He is in the heat of the politics. You know what I mean? And he is surrounded by darkness. I always say this to every one of them. I do love them for being who they are. Okay? They're good people in bad they're good people in a bad system. The system is indeed broken. The system is corrupt. And you're seeing these good hearts, pure hearts, exposing that. We've got to not give up on that positivity that I myself am projecting into the system. Okay? I'm talking to them. I'm not talking to you. I'm talking to them. Not even the listeners. I'm talking to you, the ABCs. I'm not giving up on you. Neither is Michelle, and neither are any of these matrix breakers. They believe in you because they believe in themselves. The power inside of me creates and manifests my reality. You're in my reality, or you wouldn't be listening to this show. It's just that simple. Be careful of what you say. Be careful of what you project out of your mouth, because your words create. I know, and you guys are going to crucify me for this one, but in the beginning, okay, if you believe in the Bible, if you believe in your own Bible, in the beginning, the Word was God, and God was the Word. Okay, He spoke creation into existence. It just was, but it started with a thought. Your thoughts manifest your reality. It takes you, the creator, to put the vibrational effort by throwing that pebble into a pond. The ripple can be felt on the other side of the pond. Don't ever forget that.
Oh, can I say something?
$2. Yeah, of course.
When you sent me the message tonight saying what you was going to do the show about, one reason why I was like, good, and because in general it's a good show and a good topic, but what I did not tell you, which I thought was incredibly funny, it's just the way spirit works and the divine works, is today is the new moon in Virgo, okay? And I'd said this on that energy forecast, because the energy was going to be building up to this day for that new moon, which is all about setting new goals, new directions, new ideas, and bringing it forward. Not to mention, it's the first real new moon since the Lion's Gate, because of that full moon that was going through, it made it go into a longer process. Now, on top of that, when I was doing the energy forecast, what Spirit pointed out to me was at sundown tonight, the Jewish holiday of Rosh Hashanah went into effect, which is the beginning of the year, according to them, which is also considered to be thought of as the day of shouting and blasting and the day of the trumpets playing. So when you said today, when you sent me this message and said that you wanted to do the show on this, and I was like, yes, absolutely, because I knew as soon as you said that you woke up from your dream and that's what you was being told, I was like, right on time.
Well,
do you get what I'm saying? It's a beginning point, and it's for your show. It's for the world. It's for so many things. It's a very positive thing. But like you was also saying, with certain people who are out there that's part of what they do in the idea of the light, working from that darker side, like in the political arena, and are consumed by so much of that dark energy. This is why I said, what I kept trying to tell you, I was like, you have to keep your balance. Justice cannot be found if there is not balance. And the hardest part of that is so many people have such a hard time facing the truth of that unconditional love and coming all the way through and seeing it from all aspects. That's what the shamans call the hollow bone. When I get into getting into these energies with other people or clients and stuff that I'm working with, like I get mediums or empaths all the time who they'll feel an energy off of, a person, and they'll be like, oh my God, what bad energy. And I'm like, what are you talking about? And maybe I call it the waves of energy, because sometimes that first wave may be bad. It may be a very negative energy, but you don't know what their day was. You don't know where their mind thinking is. You don't know where their heart space is. You don't know what's programmed that energy to lift into the aura.
Mm-hmm.
You get what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah.
And sometimes it's blockages that are in the chakras themselves, and it's things of denial that they haven't worked out. I use a friend of mine, as a perfect way of explaining this. Like we would go hiking all the time, and he took me hiking one time, and there was like a silo there. And he was like, I knew that you would get the biggest kick out of this place, so that's why we came here. And then when we got there, I could feel him being like scurry, uncomfortable. And I was like, what's your problem? And he was like, just the energy of this place is not good. And I was like, no, honey. I was like, you're doing a typical empath who hasn't grown fully on that level yet. This is where I'm getting into that hollow bone. And he was like, what are you talking about? And I was like, he's like, the energy of this place is just funky. And I was like, yes and no. I was like, but you're picking up the most recent wave of the energy. I'm like, this is a place, look around with your eyes, your human eyes. I was like, and this is a place where, teenagers are coming to smoke their pot, to drink their drinks, to have sex, to get away from the world, because it's an escape place. I was like, but if you go past that energy and you feel past that initial wave of what this energy is right now, you're going to go back to feeling that this was someplace somebody worked before. This was this was a whole different energy.
Dig deeper.
I was like, yes. And I tell people that all the time. I'm like, in order to get to the hollow bone, you have to get to where you're at the end. You have to be willing to go that far. And that is unconditional love, because if you can't see past the pain, you're never going to get to the root. You get what I'm going at?
Absolutely. When we talked about that, we talked about that number of times. You and I have.
Mm-hmm.
And that's the hang up. That is, I do believe that may be a humanitarian hang up or a collective hang up at the moment, because they're looking around, they're looking at all of this turmoil, all of this chaos, and they're not seeing further enough ahead. Okay, they're getting caught
they're not
up
seeing the bigger picture.
Right, they're not seeing the bigger picture, and they're being hung up on this thing that we're I'm not even going to say fighting against. It's not even fighting against it, and it's definitely damn not sure accepting it. Okay, I don't know. I don't know how to even express what I'm trying to say here. I'm serious.
Well, it is accepting it, but it's not accepting it. In order to grow, you have to go back to the root. In order to grow, and in order for anything to change, you have to understand all things, not just what you want to understand, not just what is the first wave of idea. That's just like, hearsay. I mean, literally hearsay. I mean, hearsay goes a long way. I mean, if people allow it to. If they allow their emotions to get in the way. Somebody told somebody about something, and then something got changed a little bit more into something, and then something else said something else about something, and before you know it, it's a whole nother story, and then it got back to you, and you're pissed off because that's never even what you said. Well,
right. Yes.
You know what I'm saying?
I do. Yeah, we get it.
You have to be willing to really thoroughly dig deep, but then at the same time, that's where we're going with this. Is it even worth the time? That depends on what you're putting your energy into. Are you putting it into where it's going to take you into growing? Okay, just like you were saying in the beginning of the night, you were talking about the choices you make and the decisions you do, and how that will affect you ultimately, whether it's the job or the person you marry or the friends you keep. Every action has a reaction. And you are ultimately responsible for all of it, including your unconscious thoughts, which also create your manifestation, because unconsciously, it's like I tell people all the time. Sometimes you have, in those people, places, and things of energies that you consume, which consume you. I say it all the time. There's nothing wrong with going to the bar and having a drink. Maybe a couple. There's something wrong when you go to the bar every single day to get so trashed to forget your life.
Mm-hmm.
You get where I'm going? I'm like, I'm like, and if all you do is spend your life, I mean, so much of society still only, work their butt off so they get the paycheck to get drunk on the weekend. And I'm not saying that that's good or bad. That's to each their own. But at the same time, if you put your energy only into things that are really not helping you grow, we all have to blow off steam. But like I said, there's a difference between I do it on the weekend or I go to have a drink, versus I want to get tore down and look, now I'm in jail with a DUI.
Right. Of course.
And, and I said to people, and I'm not trying to rub it in. I'm trying, because maybe the way I speak sometimes, I am been told I'm very brash and very blunt, and that's just the way I am. And I am trying to learn how to not be as so brash or hard about it, because sometimes some people do need it, but sometimes they also need the harsh reality, and we all have areas that we need to grow. But, I remember, making one of my videos last year, and I was blunt. I was like, in 2020, I was like, it comes down to this. I've been building my business, which ultimately is going to become my empire, which is a spiritual empire. It has to do with my shamanism, has to do with my essential oils, has to do with all of the products I make and the shaman work and everything. I've been busting my butt on a spiritual level to grow and mature. And if I manage to get further ahead than you did because you spent the whole year drunk, I don't feel sorry for you. That was a free will choice.
Yep.
That doesn't mean that I don't love you. That just means I'm not going backwards because you chose not to come up. And people really have a problem with that. And people have a problem with, realizing that they're growing and they're becoming better people as far as where they want their life to go, spiritually, soulfully, physically. And sometimes, you're going to leave people behind because they won't grow with you. It's like I've said a million times, on the tree of life, if I've crawled up into that tree where the apples are growing and somebody else is down there who's hungry looking for apples, well, I'm not going back down to hand you an apple every single time. Learn to crawl up the tree. Learn to climb it. See, every once in a while, I'll throw an apple down.
And that right there, hang on, because that right there is where the majority of a lot of people are at right now. They are not. They're not wanting to feel the division anymore. Okay, but yet it's like the teaching days are over. It's they're either going to get with it or they're going to get left behind. Okay?
Yes, exactly.
It's just that simple. The teaching days are over. Now you, your own self, should have the seed planted, rooted, sprouted as a little sapling, and growing. That's what I mean by you're not going to be moved. If your parents, I feel these people, okay, because I get a lot of email about, well, my spouse isn't with me. My spouse is not on the same page with me about taking the jab, or my parents don't believe they think I'm crazy for thinking this way or thinking that way. Or look, if you cannot be who you came to be, then you need to look at other places where you can be who you came here to be. You need it's
exactly.
Like Source is trying to tell you, move your ass. Get your ass out of where you're at so that you can be who you came to be. This is what I've told.
That goes down to relationships too.
Yes, absolutely. Absolutely. I tell everybody, I tell a lot of people this all the time. If you are not equally yoked with your partner at this moment, at this specific time, with this inbound energy, it will definitely show you that you're not equally yoked. And by God, you'd better make a choice, or you're going to live your life in complete, utter chaos. Okay?
Yeah. I mean, I don't know how many times I can say, look, and it, like I said, it takes a person, it sounds often like it's cold-hearted, but it's like they say, sometimes you have to get silent treatment. You know, your parents aren't always going to, pat you on the back when you've done wrong. I mean, I tell people, like, even when I'm dealing with negative entities and stuff, you don't swear at it, you don't do bad things, but you treat it more like a child who's misbehaved. That doesn't mean you don't love it. That just means, no, you're not allowed to do that, and you will not get away with it. And so when I deal with clients, sometimes you have to be that way with them because they don't want to hear it. But
yes.
Ultimately, by giving them that cold-hearted truth, I'm giving them more love than they understand, because I'm trying to help them understand. I don't know how many times I can tell people that are in, and I've been saying it in the videos that I do. There are, especially for the next, 5 years, I think it is, Uranus is going to be in Taurus, which states either you come into your power or someone else will be in it for you. Period. There's no freaking way around that. It's one or the other. And when we're looking at it from that point of view, we get into relationships. And I hate to say it, but we're talking about relationships where, people are getting beat up. But no, he still loves me, or she still loves me, and I'm going to stay with them. Yeah, okay, fine, stay with them. But when they lose their mind and you ultimately get killed, that was the choice you made.
Yeah.
I'm sorry.
I understand.
You know what I'm saying? I'm not trying to be negative. I'm saying I'm trying to tell people, if you know that you're not on the same page, you want to rise into a higher vibration, you want to rise into that love. People are all over losing their minds over twin flames. So many of you are still with karmic partners, which is all about fighting to figure out how to love yourself instead of receiving love from someone else. It's about learning to love yourself so that you can receive true love from someone else. Because until you learn to love yourself, you're going to keep having those karmic partners. And if you keep having those karmic partners, they keep creating all of these negative things within your life, then you're not going to get to your twin flame.
Mm-hmm. No, you're
And
absolutely
part
right.
of these reasons why these things are getting so difficult is because you have a mission to do with your twin flame, but you're still stuck in this karmic relationship. And if I have to be cold-hearted to get it through their head because I do love them so much, I will say it. And some people just can't handle that. Well, I'm sorry, that's just not my problem.
Well, you got to. You can't at this moment you can't pussyfoot around. You've got to tell. You got to say what's on your heart, and to say it's that simple. You know what I mean?
Mhm.
You can't at this point in time you cannot pussyfoot around it.
And especially, it's not even that you can't. It's the fact of
In time.
it's like you said, teaching days are over. It's time for action. And you're still wanting to wait around for someone to do it for you. Well, that's your responsibility. Get up and do it yourself.
Mm-hmm. Yes, ma'am. I mean, you're absolutely. See, that's the thing. Is it considered self-tough love? Is that what it's considered? I mean, it almost sounds
in a form.
In a form.
I mean, you can ultimately, and I don't mean like not everybody. Many people have grown up out of this and learned these lessons, but there's still very, very, very many who have not, and it's called denial. You know that you're. It's called denial. You know that you're not happy. You know that you deserve more. You know that there's something bigger and better, but ultimately you're afraid to take the chance in changing it. And that is what society has done to so many people. They've told you throughout your life or different lifetimes that this is the way the world is. Well, the world is this way because you want it to be better, but you don't want to actually do anything about it. Well, until you do something about it, it will continue to be this way.
Well, they don't want to do those. They don't want to do the soul work. A lot of people are caught up on. Let's talk about this for a second, okay, Michelle? And that would be confronting the dark night of the soul, their own fears, their own hates, their own likes, their own karmic this stench, this vomit that they keep choking it down. That's the thing. They want. I'm gonna confront. They're choking on it. They never want to face it. They never want to face it. Never want to own up to it. Let's talk about that.
That's fear.
Okay.
That's fear. You can call it whatever you want, and every dirty, ugly name and feeling that it comes down to, but that is fear. And fear is the name of the game for the darkness. Mm-hmm. That's really what it comes down to. The dark night of soul is not something that just happens once. It can happen many times. It depends on how... That's that hollow bone again. The deeper you go into your true soulfulness, whether it's just in this lifetime or you're starting to get into healing things of other lifetimes, the deeper you go, the darker within yourself you're going. And there are different levels of dark night of soul that have completely nothing to do with the other ones. And that's what I'm not... It takes a very brave soldier, spiritual soldier. You have to be willing to want to walk all the way through. You have to be willing to. You have to have enough love for yourself to realize where your love for yourself is lacking. You have to want to heal. But if you don't want that healing because you're afraid of it, then you'll either hit the dark night of soul and you won't come out of it, or you'll put yourself in a whole new level of denial. And you'll start a whole new cycle all over again. It never ends. You go through just like happiness and sadness. It never ends. You're always learning. You're always growing. You're always going into new levels of soulfulness. You get where I'm going?
Mm-hmm. Whenever you said whenever you won't confront it, and you keep burying it, right? Burying it again and again, and we won't confront it. That, you know what? No offense to anybody, but that leads to a depression. That leads to also self lack. It's like, well, they look around. You look around yourself, and you're like, oh well, I don't have this, or I'm not as loved as well. The comparison. We look around our reality, and we're like, oh well, I don't think that my spouse loves me as much as so and so's spouse loves me. It's confront. It will confront you in every avenue. Relationships.
That's why I said in the beginning.
Really big one. You gotta confront that.
But I completely 100% agree. But that's why I was saying the darkness is just as old as the light. It knows how to manipulate. It knows how to manipulate. It knows everything about you that's good and bad.
Yes.
And so maybe you've conquered it in this area. So now it's got to find a new area to win. You get what I'm saying? And that's why I said, like, the dark night of soul doesn't end. It shifts. It's all about spiritual growth. It's all about, I always say it wrong, the Kundalini. That growth. Yes, thank you. It's all about that soul energy, that powerhouse of energy, and the growth and coming into it more and more and more. But it's not just an individual thing. It has to be individual, because unless we can individually do it for ourselves, the vibration of the earth can't grow to its next vibration.
Well, Stuart,
you get where I'm going?
Yeah, Wayne Stewart says, indeed, this is finals week, when in preparation and the soul's journey. Do you believe that this is finals week? Out of curiosity, do you believe that we're coming into the momentum, the it's either shit or get off the pot type saying?
I've been saying that for a couple weeks, but I agree also that yes, it is. But I also agree this is only one exam out of thousands of millions. It is an exam. I always say it's test time. And you will notice a lot of times when it's time to take the test, your teachers go silent. Because it's time to take the test. It is definitely a finals week, but it's not the final. You get where I'm going?
I do. I'm also trying to read something I just pinned here. It says, "Dear," this is funny. "Dear Mr. Matrix Minds," says Sharon, "may I ask what happened to the video you posted the other day about the Vatican and that weird creature? They probably took it down, Sharon. I thought that it was very significant to our time in history. Awesome footage." Sharon, I'm just being honest with you. The Vatican right now is, let's just say, not very, they don't fit the characteristics in which they portray. I'll just say that. Lisa Ayo says, "Matthew, sorry, at work. I have a question for Michelle. What is the best source to interpret dreams?" Michelle?
Oh, all right. Well, dreams can be interpreted in many, many different ways. For one, your intuition. Always listen to the intuition. But dreams have a way of being dramatically spoken to you. And what I mean is, if the dream is taking place during the daytime, may have a significance. If a dream is taking place at nighttime, may have a significance, meaning day, night, light, dark, positive, negative. Day, you get where I'm going?
Yeah.
The colors of things that happen in the dream, may have a significance. There's also, if you're not very, if you're not as, I don't want to say it the wrong way, but if you're not as in tune with, maybe your spirit guides or what they may be trying to also tell you in a dream, because when you're in that sleep mode, it's easier for them to access you and give you information, as well as for you to hear your own higher self. So your own personal source energy. So it may be trying to have a conversation with you that normally you're not capable of receiving that information. So it may be doing it through a dream. Now, I come from, my father was a Native American, and so for me, animal spirit guides go a long way for me. But I've started to look at the earth itself as a spirit guide and start learning more about all things. Now, what I'm trying to get at is, if you are on that level of being able to understand what kind of funky conversation might be going on between the soul and you, or your guides in you and the intuition is there, then trust that and go with it. But if you're not sure, you could always look up, especially if it's animals or something, what that spirit guide may mean. Or there's also dream dictionaries. And if the dream dictionary, if you look it up and it just don't fit, then throw it out. Just because a dream dictionary, if you Googled it, doesn't fit anything that's going on in your life, you'll know if it doesn't. Mm-hmm. I'm saying don't try to force yourself to receive information just because that's what you're reading. Your intuition will know. Ding dong, yes, that's it. Or ding dong, no. But it comes back down to truth and denial as well.
Oh yeah. That itself, denial, is a very, very, very deep subject. Very deep subject.
Yes.
Because
yes, very much is.
My oh my oh my. Andy Cassidy said something I want to touch on, because this stems to all avenues of religion, all avenues of belief, all avenues of your own journey, your own growth. And he just now said it, the Great Awakening is upon us like a train, like a train. No doubt about that. No doubt about
and
that.
It's going to get a lot more powerful. Oh, yes.
Celine, gotta give her a shout out. She said that she has lost family and friends because of her belief system and the way she believes in things too. And it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But if you, Celine, heard what I was saying at the beginning of the show, I myself have been through that. I have totally been through that. And the majority, put it this way, the majority of this listening audience can tell you, okay, they think outside of the box, and they have loved ones, families, friends, co-workers. I've gotten fired from a job. Richard Roller has gotten fired from a job from the way we believe. Okay, it sucks. It absolutely sucks. But I will not be moved. It's just that simple. I will not be moved. I believe what I believe. I believe what I believe is not negative. So with me saying it's not negative, I'm not going out there hurting anyone by telling someone that there's other life on other planets. Okay?
I'm sorry, can I interrupt for a second?
Yeah.
Because it more or less was just said to me, and it was in the, it's funny because, like I said, I do the energy forecast each week, and last week, in the beginning of the forecast, I said the Spirit was saying that you have to know what your soul belief is, not what your ego belief is. Go deeper. Understand, is this a programmed thought, a programmed belief, or is this truly what your soul believes? The question for the week was, once you figure that out, will you go against it, or will you stand in your power? Will you betray it?
Right. Mm-hmm.
And this is exactly what this show is about.
Sharon, I will try.
Will you betray your soul?
I will try to find that footage again, Sharon. I do save a lot of the streams here on the local machine, and I will stream that. I will stream that again. I will stream that again, and it's not new. It's not new footage at all. But I do believe, like you're saying, it needs to come out. There's I said earlier to Michelle that the teaching days are primarily over. It is now. We either are going to teach. We're going to teach by example. Be the example, and this is what I tell the ABCs all the time. You guys are in hella high spots that I'm not in, or Michelle's not in, Wayne's not in, any of us. You guys be the example. You guys are the shining light in the darkness of dark, and I know that. I do know that. I respect that. I don't know if I personally could do that, because Yeah, no, I'm just not built that way. Besides that,
Well, another way of thinking of it,
they kill me.
another way of thinking of that is also, I mean, whether you want to see it, believe it or not, everybody looks up to somebody. Okay? Everybody looks up to somebody. And the whole idea here is, are you being somebody that you would look up to or not? I mean, are you setting the example of what you want to be? It's like they say, you know, you've got to be the change. Are you being it or not? And then that goes back to your children. You're setting the example. And what example are you setting? All of that goes together. I mean, like I said, that all goes into manifestation. That all goes into law of attraction. Mm-hmm. Like I said, it goes so much deeper than what people want to think. It's the very small things that ultimately become the biggest and most important things. And each and every one of you are more powerful than you can ever understand or believe. But when you still don't fully believe that, then the thought of that, I don't still fully believe that, is more powerful than you, because you're giving it that power.
Mm-hmm.
So that's why I said it comes right back down to, you know, if you're somebody you would look up to. You know if you're setting an example that you want your children to live by. And don't lie to yourself about it. If you're doing a good job, then pat yourself on the back. Good job. If not, well, start changing. What happened yesterday and ever before that is past. It's old. All that you have is now and the future. So whatever you did before really doesn't matter.
I agree.
There's always now to change.
Totally. Michelle, let me say something real quick. A follower of the Matrix, right, by the name of Lee Grantham, says, "Hey Matt, good to see you. It's good to see you too, Lee. I lost my mom in July 2019, and since then I've been pretty lost. I remember that feeling, bro. I totally do. She was my grounding rod," he says. "Adopted me as a 2-month preemie, and was always there for me. Lee, let me say something to you. And what I want you to do tonight, okay? I don't know where you're at on the globe. I don't remember where you're at. But what I want you to do is tonight in meditation, I want you to close your eyes and play back one of your soul memories, okay? Because you touched on some really, really key things in your statement, all right? Because I don't believe for a moment that your mom is gone, okay? She's just not in the same manifestation that you're in right now. She's just not there right now. She's there, but she's just not in this physical existence. So Lee, whenever you've got an opportunity, my friend, to meditate in a quiet time, throw yourself on some quiet music, close your eyes, and play back a grounding, because you said she was my grounding rod, okay? Play back some grounding memory of mom. It's there, my friend. It's definitely there. Share a smile with her, okay? Trust me, I lost my mom 6 years ago. And the thing is my mom was close to 300 and some odd miles away from me. So the opportunity to see her before she passed was not a very good situation. But with that being said, I can tell you this, okay? I see my mom now more now, and I interact with my mother more now than I did when she was among this physical existence. I'm not kidding. I experience my mother more now than what she was in a physical in the vessel. She too is an entity. Okay? And she can indeed.
Hold on, Matt.
Yeah.
I'm sorry to interrupt, but
Go ahead.
if you're saying what you're saying, help them to understand how you know when you are actually having that connection with your mom. Because for others who have lost their family members, and are wanting to connect and wanting to feel that connection again, help them to understand sometimes it's so simple, but they don't understand that it's that simple. Since you connect with your mom, it's not going to be the same for them, but give them ideas.
You know what? Something that was is told to me. Let me share something with you, Lee, and everyone else that's listening. You know what? Spirit. All is the source. The source. Spirit has got a very, very unique way of allowing these loved ones of ours to come back, whether it be from this lifetime. You all right there, girlie? Or even a prior life. They do come back to visit, again, from this lifetime as well as other lifetimes. Now, what I can have you, or you can do, Lee, and in a lot, there's going to be people say, well, that's demons. That's a demon just playing with you. Okay, but I'm telling you right now, it is not. Okay, if you want and you try to allow nothing but light source, your mother's essence, to be around you, your father's essence to be around you, you can uniquely tell them, show me, and give me, let me know, Mom, that you are here. Touch me, uniquely give me your identifier. Identify yourself, touch me, let me know you're with me. Pay attention to from the tip of your hair, to the tip of your toe, to the tips of your finger. Become aware of your vessel to every specific atom that makes up your being. And I assure you, if she is willing and able, which are usually our parents are, they will come to you somehow, whether it be if you have got the ability to feel the wind, just the most minute little brush of wind on your face. You may feel a tingle under your arm. It doesn't matter. Allow them to do that, and it will be their unique identifier. I'm telling you.
May I intercept?
I want you to just back me up on that. Yeah.
I do, but I want to throw out other things. I mean, sometimes there's a specific song that, would be an emotional thing that you shared, that, will come on and you just can feel their energy with it. And that song was put there, to say, hey, I'm with you. Maybe, people look at butterflies when they appear as, a suggestion that they're there, or pennies or dimes being found, or, different kind of birds. What's the red bird? A cardinal. Different people. Yeah, people will say cardinals, and butterflies would be the family showing up. And sometimes it's okay. Like my father passed away a long time ago, and then I also have an ex, which I was engaged to at one time, and they both have passed away. And so, like, when my father shows up, I smell molasses.
Oh, shit.
And when my ex, shows up, I literally smell beer.
Oh,
because, I smell beer, and part of that is because both my ex and my father drank a lot, but my ex, he also had diabetes, died from it and everything. So the beer is definitely, what's up, Michael? I can tell that he's visiting, and my father took the smell of molasses because it was stuff that he cooked. He would cook with molasses. So sometimes it's not even that they're touching your hair or that you could physically feel an entity or an energy of them being there. Sometimes it's a smell. Sometimes it's, the birds popping up. I mean, I'm just saying, do exactly the exercise that Matt was saying. Try to meditate and allow that energy to come in so that you can have that communication and fill your heart and soul with that energy. But also understand sometimes it's so simple that it's overlooked and they've been there the whole time. It's just you're not trained to notice it.
Lee said it's funny
You get what I'm saying?
that you mentioned butterflies, Shell, because he says he definitely feels her around when he sees butterflies.
And that would be one of the ways is going, what's up? Hi, darling. And there, like I said, there's certain triggers that you will notice, whether it's because you're awake or you're not, or they're just coming into your energy. I mean, there's so much more to that other realm.
Oh, yes.
There's so much more to that other realm. But at the same time, if you have to be open to getting its messages. I tell people all the time, like with spirit guides and whatnot, I could be spirit guides. Maybe it's God. I don't know. You could be praying. I want this to happen. Please help me with this. Please help me with this. I need this. Could you please? And you feel like you're not being answered. But that's because you're looking to the right because you assume that the answer or the energy or the direction that you're going to be given by God, your guides, whatever, because it's not up to me to tell you how or what you believe. But you could be praying and asking for this help, but in your mind, it can only be done this path. And so the example is, I'm looking for the answer, I'm looking for the direction, I'm looking for the out, I'm looking for the help, but I'm looking to the right for the answer when your guide is standing on the left side of you, your angel is standing on the left side of you, jumping up and down going, if you just look this way. But no, you know it all, and you've got to go that way, and you're going to mess up again because you're not willing to receive the answer. You have to be open-minded enough to allow yourself to receive it.
Yeah, that's absolutely right. I mean, I'm not a shaman, but I can tell you that's absolutely right. She's dead on when she said that. No doubt about it. Hey, Michelle, we are coming up on the top of the hour. 12 o'clock a.m. Yeah. To run an hour and 45 minutes. I have a question. Do you have anything else that Spirit has brought to your attention to share with everybody or anybody? Because again, it was
in general.
Go ahead.
I was letting you finish.
I say mine was just, it was to get it out of the political arena and shift the momentum to a more positive side of the creator ability. And that would be me, you, her, everybody that's listening to the show. Because we are at a critical mass right now where we have got timeline differentiation, and it's time to either do it or just sit back and watch it happen.
Yes, it's definitely time for action. But there's two things I feel like I'm being directed at. One is that denial situation. It takes a lot of strength to believe in yourself and to actually face that. But without facing that, it's not just manifestation in your life of the physical world. It's also manifestation in the physical body and what happens with the energy you store within yourself. And this is why it's so important for you to overcome that denial, because it ultimately can cause illnesses and so forth, that all because you wouldn't face your own truth, you wouldn't face your own things, and you're allowing those energies to sit in you. The other thing is, if I'm receiving what I'm receiving correctly, is no death is an end. right down to everything you've known from the society you've lived. You die all the time, and you're reborn all the time. A baby turns into an infant. An infant turns into a teenager. A teenager turns into an adult. We are constantly growing. We are constantly shedding our skin. We are constantly going from one death and into a new birth. And what you're seeing on a society level is nothing more than that very same thing. But this all has to do with, will you love yourself back to right?
Well, that sounds like a closing statement. Do you know that? Because usually nobody calls the show. Nobody really. I get interaction, and nobody leaves this show without saying something positive to humanity, to the people that's listening. Would that be your closing statement, or do you have?
I really feel like that.
Because that was
I
pretty.
feel like that was my guide's closing statement, and that I should probably shut up right there and not try to follow him.
That was pretty badass, I just gotta say. Absolutely. All right, Michelle Espinosa, plug your website here real quick.
All right, everybody. Oh, in fact, if you let me, I'm first off, you can find me on Etsy. Look under Etsy at lady. Not sorry. You want to under Etsy, because I have essential oils that are all towards people's spiritual growth and healing, as well as I sell other products there, as well as there's also astrology readings there on Etsy, and you can find me there under Etsy shops at LSF Sanctuary LLC, or you could go to the website, and that would be ladystarsandfire.com. But I also have something that me and Matt are going to be working on that's going to be coming out brand new, because it just went through copyright, and it's going to be something brand new that's coming out along the lines of astrology and medical healing. So keep your eye out for that, because Matt's going to help me put that out there, and it will be called the Starlight Codes. I love you guys, and I only wish the best for each and every one of you. Please love yourself.
Good night to you, Michelle. I will.
Good night, darling.
I'll talk to you later. Appreciate you. Thank you for calling and talking with me.
No problem.
All right. Good
Bye,
night.
babe.
Good night. Let's see. I'm gonna take a couple phone calls here before we get out of here. I've seen you guys pop up in here. Area code 704. Welcome to the Matrix Minds. What's going on? Who is this? Hello.
This is Dewdrop. How you been doing, Matt? It's been a while.
Good. What's going on, man? How are you, kiddo?
I'm doing good. You know, I've just been listening to the conversation. I actually just sit back and kind of watch the show now. I try not to call in too much because there's just so much interesting stuff y'all talk about. I try not to take up all y'all's time. But I just want to say that, you know, first off, I've missed all you guys. There's 3 times a week when I know I can get to hear from people who have hearts like mine, and it's Monday, Wednesdays, and Fridays. Yeah. So, you know, but I didn't catch the name of the who was just speaking. I'd actually been listening for quite a while, and just want to say that, you know, a lot of stuff she spoke on, I know that not just like myself, but probably every single person here on the show resonated very, very deeply with. You know, we understood a lot of that. You know, just getting that out into the world, that's the hard part. You know, but I called in earlier just because I heard y'all speaking on, like, you know, I believe it was you asking or were saying, you know, is there darkness without light? I'd always been told there is no such thing as darkness unless we give it that power. Darkness is just the absence of light.
Damn.
You know.
Dewdrop, hang tight. Stay on that thought. We're gonna get one more person up here, and the switchboard. I'm gonna go ahead and close the switchboard down. But area code, just hang on to your thought, bro. Hang on to your thought. Area code 204. Welcome to the Matrix Minds with myself and my good little buddy Dewdrop. Welcome. Who is this? Hello.
Hey, it's Pauline.
Celine, what's cracking, girl?
Nothing. How you doing?
Doing all right. Trying to wrap things up, and I see you guys come in there. I'm like, oh shit. Figured try to take your guys' call, both you and Dewdrop, before we got out of here.
Oh, did I lose you?
No, I'm just listening.
There you go.
I'm just
Okay.
waiting for you. Dewdrop, you asked who that
no.
was, right? You asked who was I was speaking with?
Yeah.
It's Miss Michelle Espinosa, LadyStarsandFire.com. You can look her up here on
I tell you
Facebook
what, for
also.
the first women I've met so far, just in the past couple of years, why are all their names Michelle? You know,
I
you got like Michelle
don't know.
Nope
I don't know.
and Michelle Sanders.
Yeah.
You know, like you got Michelle Espinosa. That's a good name. Good name to have there. No. But yeah, I kind of lost my train of thought there.
It's all right. Sorry about that.
You're okay.
I had to get to Celine before she hung up. Sometimes her phone acts
All right.
wacky. Sometimes the switchboard acts wacky.
But I'm actually going to be hitting the hay here soon, so I'd just like to come in and close with a positive statement.
Please do.
You know, I just want to say I love all y'all. You know, whether I've met you before or not, you know, whether we've ever conversated or not, you know, I love all y'all. You know, I'm trying to work on that unconditional love that y'all was speaking about earlier. You know, especially how she said, you know, like when you lose someone, you know, we tend to look at that in a negative manner. But one of the greatest attributes that I've gotten from losing my grandfather, who was my, you know, grounding rod in my family, is now that I can look back on all the memories he was talking about. You know, all the things that I thought that I didn't pay attention to, they slowly have came back to me, you know, when I need them most. You know, things that, you know, I wish I'd have paid more attention to in the time that I was being taught from that person I love. But even those moments to where I wasn't even completely there, where my mind strayed and where my thoughts wandered away, you know, because I might have been bored or, but even in those times, you know, those ones closest to us that we love, they remain there. They remain there through death. They remain there. They just remain there. I believe that's that sign of, you know, absolute love. You know, like, you know, because that's a feeling that won't never go away. I won't call it a burden because it's no longer a burden on me. But, you know, so I love all y'all. I love all y'all. Y'all teach me so much. You know, and I'm just very appreciative of every single person that's here listening to this, every person that will ever listen to us, and every person who never will. You know,
Dewdrop,
these times.
you know what? You are a beacon. Do you know that? You are. I've told you that from the very beginning of you calling and participating with the Matrix Minds. You are 26 years old, right?
That's correct.
You are a beacon for our young people, and we absolutely dig you. I'm not kidding you. We love you for that, man. You are a beacon.
Well, I love y'all too, but I'm gonna get off here and I'm gonna listen to y'all speak a little more. I just want to call in and tell everybody, you know, y'all are amazing and keep doing what you're doing. Keep sharing light. That's all we can do is try and make a better time stream here. But y'all have a great night.
You too, buddy. You ready?
You
I'm gonna blow you out of this. You ready? Here you go. Hang on to your pants, buddy. Catch you later, okay? Good night.
All right, I love you, man.
Love you too, bro. Good night.
Bye.
All right, there, Mr. Dewdrop goes to go bye. What's up with you, Celine? How's things going down there, Texarkana?
Well, you know, same as the rest of the world. You know, it's been a pretty dark time, but hey, I'm choosing to stay in love and light and vibration and allowing the Holy Spirit to give me discernment. So, I'm good.
I seen you comment whenever I got to talking about my past and some other people's past here that's tuned into the Matrix about losing their family, their friends, their coworkers, things like that. I seen you chime in saying, "Yep, I've been in that boat. I'm in that boat."
Mm-hmm. Oh yeah. I mean, I'm just on a different, you know, thought process and belief process of half of my family, you know, that have chosen to go, you know, the other way with the whole
thing,
you know, jabber thing.
Yeah.
You know, yeah, you know, So, but I'm just, like I said, I'm allowing the Holy Spirit to give me discernment. I'm following God. I'm staying in His Word, and I'm just going to go the way I feel like I'm supposed to be led. As simple as that. And I pray for them. I hope to heck that they're okay in the long run when all this plays out. But
I completely agree with you. You got a solid man, right? You got a solid man.
Yes, I do. I do.
And
We have the same thought process.
And
Yep.
I was just talking about that earlier, being equally yoked, because right now that is what we as out of box thinkers need the most. Because I'm telling you right now, I'll back Michelle up when it comes. You know, she is a seer. She is a star reader, shaman. My shaman friend.
Yep. I get you.
When she says that are going to need one another, and we're going to need to indeed know and learn ourselves, and buckle up, brains, because shit's going to get really, really deep.
Oh yeah.
Okay, because Celine, they see our light, man. They see the darkness.
They do. They want to put it out.
Damn straight. It's all right.
And I am so grateful because him and I are on the same wavelength, and we have each other's backs. It's like I've told you before, we have this group we meet up with every weekend that is Constitutional Patriot Group.
Yeah.
And the minute I see him change or tense up or anything, I automatically know he's onto something. And both of us, we have each other's backs, and it's friggin' awesome.
Yes, it is. It's what's said. It's good to have that anchor. Because without it right now, I mean, I look around me. I've got friends right now that they're like blind leading the blind. Okay? They don't know what the hell to believe. They don't know what to do, and they're letting the manipulation get into them to the point where and they're not knowing what the hell to do, and they're even going against their own selves because of the manipulation. One of them I just talked to just yesterday. He's like, "Well, I went and done the thing. I went and took the thing, Matt." I'm going, you gotta be kidding me. He's like, "No." He's like, "It's pressure." I'm going, son of a man, what do you? I don't know what to say other than I'm like, just that's why I started tonight with a message from Bashar. Okay, you came here to be you. Be you. I didn't come here. I didn't come here to be Celine. Celine didn't come here to be Matthew. You come here to be you. Okay, you come here to carry your torch, your way. That's it. I didn't come. If I lose, right, just the same way you are. You lost family, you lost friends. So be it. I don't know what else to say.
It's the only thing I can do is pray for them. That's the only thing I know what to do. Beg and pray to God that they're going to be okay. Because I am going the way that I feel like God is leading me. He has made me vocal for a reason. My husband's more quiet type. He doesn't talk a lot, but he's got me as his mouthpiece. Let me put it that way. Okay. I am just I'm a very vocal person, and I stand up for what I believe. And then if somebody doesn't like it, well, I'm sorry. I'll pray for you. Yeah, we don't have to agree to be friends. You know what I mean?
Absolutely. Word there, boy.
As
Angela Stats said, word. I see you in here, sweetheart. I hope you're doing well, Ange.
I am.
Love
hope you are too.
We're doing good. We're hanging in there. I am. I've got a lot coming at me. Oh my God, my inbox. I don't know. A lot of things coming down the pike. That's all I can say.
I hope everything works out for you. I love you guys, and I'll let you go.
Thank you, Celine. Whoa. Hit the brakes,
what?
babe. No. Come back to the Matrix. Say
what? I'm here.
Okay, say something positive to everybody on the way out the door. And then I'll blow your britches off too.
Honey, I'm going to tell you the same thing I always do. Where we go one, we go all. God's in control.
She said it. All right, Celine, good night to you. Take care of yourself and that better half of
Me
yours.
too.
All right? All right, peace out. Bye.
All right. Bye.
Boom. She goes by. Good night. It's been an absolutely awesome night. It truly has. I didn't expect it to go this way. In fact, I didn't have a clue as to how it was really going to go, but it was absolutely an awesome night with you guys calling in here. I didn't really project having a whole lot of callers in here, but do drop. I do love you, young man. Celine, young lady, I appreciate you. I also seen someone in here that I haven't seen in here for quite some time. She's from Australia. I have nothing against you. I have nothing against you at all. And to anybody that has blocked me in the last, I don't know, let's say month, 2 months from Facebook, look, I love you. I just want you to stay positive. Okay? Stay positive, stay focused, and do me a favor. Do me a big favor. Okay? Because I'm on my own timeline. I've got a shit ton of people with me on my timeline. And if you can hear me, I'm with you. I am with you on your timeline. We have got nothing but brighter days ahead. We have got nothing but cages to rattle. We're going to rattle cages. Okay? So again, if you can hear my voice, I am on your timeline and you are on mine. We've got things to do, things to fix. I'm even talking to you, ABC boys and girls. We got this, okay? Don't be afraid. Do not be afraid. We came here to be who we came to be. And I'm going to be who I came to be with the utmost fabric of my created being. If people don't like it, that is just tough shit. Same way in your guys' life. Be who you came to be. Okay? You came to be the loud, the proud. But one thing I need to tell you is don't be extreme. Again, it's going back to the jump. No one can make you jump. Only you. Tina Danley, you're amazing. You guys are amazing people. You guys are amazing creators. All you need to do is stay grounded, stay anchored, stay into your created being. Do not let no one move you. Stay anchored, stay in control. Only you can make your being jump. Okay? Only you. I cannot wait till Wednesday. I have no idea what's going to happen. I do believe it's funny. I got to throw this out there. Thank you. Oh, by the way, shout out to the donators. I appreciate you. I love you. Thank you so very much, every single one of you. There's quite a few of you. I do not have your names in front of me. The podcast supporters, the show supporters here on Facebook. You guys have went to the top and smashed the support buttons for $99 a month. It's really not a lot. It's not a lot at all, but it does. Every single thing you guys give to this show goes to help support the show. It's just that way. Your show. It is your show. I will not be owned by big corporate, okay? I will be owned and regulated by you. It is your show. So thank you. Shout out to every one of you guys, again, that have donated to the podcast and the show over the last month. Indeed, it goes to helping stream the show on multiple show platforms. Facebook ×2, Facebook Matrix Minds, the Black Sheep Media, Twitch. Shout out to you. I seen there was another follower on Twitch. Love to you and shout out to you. I appreciate that. YouTube has got the main account on ban until November the 18th. Yeah, November the 18th for promoting and glorifying hate speech. So I am promoting and glorifying hate speech. They banned the account. I just don't know what to say. I don't. Wow. That's all I will say is just wow. With that being said, Brainiacs, you guys, from what I understand, liked the past life regression that I did on Lisa a little bit. So what I want to do is I want to throw this out there. You guys, let me get to where it's. You guys, very simplistic. Matrix Minds 2020 at gmail.com. Okay, once again, matrixminds2020 at gmail.com. I can show you a certificate. I am a clinical hypnotherapist by hobby. Say hobby. I love doing it. This is what I love to do, clinical hypnotherapy. So, one of you, whoever inboxes me first, if you wish to try to do a regression, I will take that inevitable step and we'll walk you back through your past and try to bring some things forward. So the first one to inbox me, Matrix Minds 2020 on Wednesday, it will take some time. You must understand, okay? That takes time. All right? It's not going to be just an hour show. It will probably take me every bit of 30 minutes, 45 minutes, maybe even longer, depending on your guys's, whoever this is, depending on your creatability in your mind. Okay? You've got to have visualization. So if not, we've got to walk you through that visualization process to just spark it and get your mind fired up. You've got the ability to do it. It's just kicking it in the ass to do it. So with that being said, look, Brainiacs, you guys are the Matrix Breakers. I'm Matthew Turner with the Matrix Minds. Without you, this does not happen. So once again, I appreciate you. I am glad that you're with me. And once again, I'll join you guys here on Wednesday night. Same time, same bat channel. You guys are the righteous ones. You guys are at the tip of the spear, breaking the fabric of reality. That's what you are doing. Continue to question everything, brains, even reality. Peace out. I love you. Good night. One more shout out to everybody there on Matrix Minds Media, Facebook, Black Sheep Media, YouTube, Twitch, the audio side of things. Everybody tuning in late night all over this great planet on Apple iTunes, Google Podcasts, Amazon Music, Spotify, iHeartRadio, Anchor FM. Love you guys. Appreciate you for you. Continue to be you. Don't ever change that. Peace out, everybody. And crank it up, Brainiacs.